Yesterday we did the reflection on the clothes. Yeah, E. Today we reflect on food. Yeah. Do you all have your favorite food? Say yes. Yes. Do you have your least favorite food? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Do you have food that you don't like? Yes. Food that you say, I don't take this. Yes. Yeah. So today, see which level you want to do. So first level is be grateful for whatever food you buy. Okay. You can choose whatever food you want. You choose. You really choose. Okay. And then as you are eating, see how happy you are. Okay. Yeah. See whether the the happiness is congruent with your expectation of happiness. Yeah. Yeah. Then second level, uh, like you go to the zap cai kiam and then you don't choose. You just tell the person, if whatever three dish you choose for me. Yeah. Maybe the person said think you say three dish, or choose all the big ticket. Then in the end, three dish you pay $18. And of course, if you want to be a vegetarian, then today, if you're on vegetarian diet today, then you tell the person just vegetables, three dishes. Yeah, or you go to the vegetarian store. Then similarly, when you eat, see how do you find the food. And then the next level is uh, choose the food that you don't like. Wow. Yeah. So like uh, in a way neutral because you didn't choose. And then the next level you don't like. Mm. Yeah. And tomorrow half the group don't turn up. 折磨人嘛这个啊，又不开 aircon，然后又不开风扇，然后现在啊don't turn on aircon, don't turn on fan, then now food still want to ask us to choose what we don't like to eat. No. You all must always remember, no matter what exercise Sifu give you all, Sifu don't get anything. Unless you think that Sifu is 变态, that Sifu is hentai, is twisted, masochistic. Yeah, see delight, experience delight in seeing suffering in others. Yeah, in which case then tomorrow half gone. Yeah, but uh, so when we do meditation, right? Um, by now, I think a good number of you have no problem with your leg. Uh, uh, so as I shared with a friend recently, um, leg pain is actually the least of your concern. But for someone who is starting off, it is the biggest concern. So um, why do I say that? You all should know, right? Because if you were to sit consistently, even if you just sit half an hour every day, you do that for 2 to 3 months, your leg pain quite quite manageable. Yeah. If you sit a bit longer, 45 minutes, then after about 2 to 3 months, more or less manageable and subside. Yeah. Leg pain is the least of your concern. But while you're doing leg or doing leg pain, while you're meditating, when itchiness arise, when numbness arise, when aches and pains arise, what do we do? Yeah. So initially we struggle, we fight with it. Yeah. No, initially we don't fight. Initially we just move, move here, move there, move here, move there. Yeah. So then later on, we hear the instructions, try not to move. Then we fight with it. Then later you learn, oh, actually don't have to fight. Just go and observe. Then you observe, wow, lagi pain. Wow, this is, what kind of instruction is that? Go and observe. Don't observe, not so pain. Observe, then later pain, more pain. Then eventually, the pain don't really come. Yeah, or even when it comes, it is manageable. Yeah, you learn to relate to the pain differently. You learn to see the pain differently, or rather, you realize that the pain is not the pain that you thought it was. Yeah, it's not that the pain is still is all the while the same, and then you psycho yourself to think differently. No, it's that the way we look at the pain was plus our own strong reaction. That's why it suffers so much. And we hold on to it. So I often share this in meditation class and retreats. There's nothing wrong with moving. Okay, if it's painful, why can't we move? We should move, right? Yeah. If we shouldn't move from pain, then when we are hungry, we shouldn't eat. When you want to pee, you should just bear with it, right? Bear with it. But that's the extreme asceticism that the Buddha was practicing, which the Buddha denounced, right? So why do we say, try not to move? Yeah, because you must understand that when we are sitting, initially no pain, right? The first 1 minute no pain, it cannot be that the moment you sit there's pain. If that's the case, you need to go and look for a chiropractor. So no pain, you sit, then itchiness, numbness, aches, pain arise. If you start moving in order to remove the pain, then you are just going back to square one, right? From no pain to pain, then you move to have no pain, then you are just getting back to square one. And if that is all you do to just not have pain, then don't sit. Easier. If all you want is not to have pain, then don't sit. Yeah, don't sit, no pain, ma. Go to sleep. Right? So when instead of just moving, we observe the pain, then maybe the pain subside, maybe the pain continue for a while more, maybe the pain increase. In all three cases, if we were to observe, be mindful of it, then we gain something else. Or rather, we get to know more about the pain. We gain insight into the pain, into the nature of pain. If it's enough to compel us to move, why don't we get to know it? And we should, isn't it? Yeah. Unless all you want is to get back to no pain. If all you want to do is get back to no pain, then don't sit. Easier solution. Yeah. So if you are to observe it, then we gain insight. Yeah. And in the process, we also gain something else. Yeah. One of the insight we should at least gain is there are the details of the insight. I leave it to you, huh? But we should at least minimally over time have built up this confidence. What confidence? Confidence against our impulse to move. Why do we have the impulse to move? One, maybe the pain is very uncomfortable. Yeah. And two, maybe we feel like if we continue, then there's a fear that it will cause a lot of harm to our body. Yeah. So these two. Yeah. Maybe there are other motivation. But if we look at these two, if we don't move, eventually the pain also subside. Maybe it doesn't subside, maybe increase, but have you ever have the pain increase in perpetuity? No, at some point it's still, huh? At some point it's still, da, 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 da. So with respect to the first motivation, yeah, that the pain is unbearable, that we, and so we don't want it to continue. We learn that just because we don't move doesn't mean it will not go away. If our aim is for it to go away, then we think we must move. And so this is our belief system. This is our unwitting belief system. For the pain to go away, we must move. Yeah, but now, over time, we do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 10 times. Then we learn that, oh, actually, it is not permanent. It's impermanent. We don't even have to do anything. Eventually, it will go away. Yeah, you just have to have some patience. Then number 2 is the fear that something bad will happen. And as you do this over time, then realize, hey, even if you don't do anything, nothing really that bad will happen. And the best thing is, as you observe the pain, as I mentioned earlier, you may start to relate to it differently. Then the pain problem, well, the pain don't just go away. At some point, it does go away, but even if it does arise, you don't relate to it as the pain. Yeah. So you also learn something about yourself, how you respond towards disagreeable, towards painful experiences. Now, some students may wonder what point is this for? After all, we don't sit around, not moving the whole day. If you consider the painful stimulus, the painful feeling, not just in terms of your leg pain or back pain, but any kind of painful experiences through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. Be it when you take the train or the bus and there's some unpleasant smell, or you're just walking to the car park or the MRT or bus stop and then there's some stench, or perhaps it's something more salient, a message, yeah, a message that would otherwise be dismissed easily by anybody else, but when you read it, you feel, oh, yeah, and you feel like you must do something about it. Just like when you feel the pain and you're sitting, you feel like you must do something about it. But if over time you meditate and you learn that, unpleasantness doesn't mean that you must respond with aversion. Moving is aversion. It's because you're averse, that's why you move. So directly we are learning to overcome one of the 3 defilements, greed, hatred, delusion. So we are learning to overcome or to deal with this second one. We don't think of it as hatred, but it's a big umbrella, right? Aversion, hatred, frustration, all this. So we learn that even when we meet with disagreeable unpleasantness, we don't always have to respond in kind. We are able to deal with it. And similar to what we observe during sitting, then we may find that, hey, this also applies in this area, in that area. But the application must be done by you. Shifu, if Shifu every day keep giving you all examples, after a while you'll be like, and you all don't learn anything. Can only tell you all this once in a while, because ultimately you all need to go and apply. Or rather not you all, we all need to apply. Oh, so even when we are eating, okay, and that's why when we are eating, don't always choose what you like. Yeah, learn to sometimes don't choose. Sometimes choose what you don't like. Of course, don't choose food that you are allergic to. Okay, yeah. Physical allergy is not about preferences. Okay, it's not about our taste bud preference. Yeah, it's an illness. Allergy is an illness. Illness is by definition an uncontrollable discomfort and impairment of the physical functions. So please now, 师傅, look at me. I'm all swelling up. What happened? I choose to eat the mushroom. I choose to eat the peanut. Now I'm hospitalized. I never asked you to do that. So try that. Try that. So the different practices, they at some point, yeah, at some level of the practice, it can actually have some relevance to each other. Okay. So today's coming back to the starting point of the practice. Today is reflection on the 衣食 food. Yeah. So just food alone, it can go into the preliminary, which is just choosing what you like, but be mindful of how we respond to it. Then the not our choice, and then what we don't like. And then beyond that, we can reflect. We can learn to watch our aversion towards food that we don't like, our craving towards food that we like, and then maybe towards neutral food. Yeah. And then beyond that, while before you eat, do a bit of reflection on before, during, and after, perhaps. Reflect on how this food come about. Then it's reflection of gratitude and giving rise to love and compassion again. Okay? Wow, today is xiong. Yeah, do whatever part you can do lah. Don't give yourself pressure. Otherwise, later when you go out for lunch with your colleague, then your colleague look at you, then you freeze frame down there. have a have a have a foodie day ahead.